Welcome to White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey, where today we're going to do a video walkthrough of a 2020 Jayco Jay Feather 29 QB model. Starting at the front of this RV, it does have a power tongue jack, which you control the operation here for extend and retract up or down. If you lost power or did have a dead battery, there's a hole here that pops off and a crank handle would go in to manually operate the jack. Twin propane bottles, make sure they are turned into the on position. It is an automatic regulator. It will show you which tank it's feeding off of, and it will change color at the indicator here to let you know when it switches to the opposite tank. Propane cover goes over top of those bottles and does have hinge lid access, as well as solar power on the side of this camper. Down the off door side, we have access to storage with battery disconnect switch. If you're going to be away for the camper for a while, you can actually switch this to the off position and it will kill all the power to prevent draining down the battery. You can see we have the television storage box here if you want to remove it and store it from your living area, outside barbecue grill, and new sewer kit included. Stabilizer jacks, there is a crank handle that attaches here and you raise and lower. You can also use an adapter for a power drill if you have one, and that helps. Access to outside storage compartment, which is lockable. At the back here, we have our holding tank dump valves. Gray water is soapy water, which gathers in the shower and the sinks. Black water is just toilet waste. So these valves here, you're gonna see you have your black valve, which is the furthest one off to the side here. It has a black handle on it, and then you have two gray water tanks on this particular model. A quick tip is to let the black toilet tank waste accumulate for a couple of days, then hook up your sewer hose here, pull the dump valve for the black tank, and then pull the gray water valves and let that soapy water wash through the lines. Power connection here, we have a detachable cord which stores in the compartment, as well as satellite if you had an aftermarket satellite, or cable TV hookup here on the outside if available at your campground. You also have a digital TV antenna which operates from an error signal and will pull in major networks. We'll show you that inside. This is unique to this model. This is an outside bunk door. If you wanted to throw bicycles or other items into the bunk area, you can access it from the exterior, and that's lockable. Ladder, great for maintenance. Once a season, it's recommended that you check your seals, gaskets, scrape and reseal as necessary. This one does have a backup camera option to add. That would be an aftermarket option, something included or purchased from the factory, but it is prepped there for it. As well as city water connection, black tank rinsing system, which would clean out the black tank, outside shower. For city water, this would be hooked up at your campground with a freshwater hose. And then black tank rinsing system allows you to back flush your toilet waste tank and clean that out. This is hookup for your outside barbecue grill, which will connect on these two pegs here. And you have a propane connection as well to attach your hose to it. And you can see that right here at the back of the camper. Again, stabilizer jack at the back. Outside kitchen on this model. Your spray port here can connect right to your sink. You also have a thermostat control for your exterior fridge inside the fridge. And you have your outside cooktop here. Inside the compartment, you have a pop light. Make sure your switch is turned on here, and you have electrical as well. Power awnings on this, we'll show you from the inside. This model actually has two awnings, one over the rear kitchen as well as main awning. On the door side, you have access to the back of the refrigerator. These two spin latches can use a key or a coin to spin these and then drop this panel down. General maintenance, you just want to check that it's clean. There's no cobwebs in there because that can wreak havoc with the system. This is the back of your furnace, which is your heater. It does vent warm air, so make sure you keep this area clear and make sure hands stay away from it if you have children with you. Outside electrical, as well as outside cable. And this is your freshwater fill. This is where you'd fill your onboard water tank. When using your onboard water tank, you'd want to use your water pump switch. Hooked up to city water, you're already pressurized. If you want to bring your television outside or have a separate TV for outside, you have a bracket there. Above, you have exhaust vent for your range, as well as speakers for your stereo system. Hot water heater is also on this side. Of note here, you do have a nylon plug. You want to remove that plug and drain the water down for winterizing. For more specific instructions on winterizing, if you want to do it on your own, please refer to your Jayco owner's manual. It will walk you through some of the general maintenance and winterizing process. And aside from that, make sure this area is kept clean and clear of cobwebs. Again, it can wreak havoc with your propane systems. Toggle latch turns for locking. Coming up to the front compartment, you have your outside barbecue grill, sewer hose. This is a light for the front. So this will operate the blue lights in the front of the cap. So we'll show you that. You can turn them off and on from that location. You can see those blue lights and just hit this switch and you'll turn them off. And then again, a pop light there for your basement storage area. Coming up into the trailer, this has a more ride step above system. To store these steps, very easily lifts up. Excuse this trying to do it one-handed, showing you this walkthrough. That just stores in there, and then you can lock your door. Grab handle, just lifts up and folds either side. And then for releasing your steps, there's a lever here, pull, and we'll pull down on those steps. Nice handle there. And you can bring those steps down. And come on up inside the camper. Again, this is a walkthrough demonstration of some of the features, systems, and operations of a 2020 Jay Feather 29QB model. We have Entertainment Center on here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the stereo off so you can hear the walkthrough a little bit better. Coming in at your entry door, you're going to find the systems monitor panel. This area gives you access to all of your battery level, tank levels, water pump, water heater operation on gas or electric. Just push the buttons here. Water pump would be pressurizing fresh water pulling from your onboard water tank. You have your light switch. Remember, like you saw in the outside storage compartment, these are pop lights. So you need to turn the button on in the middle of the light for the light to operate with the switch. You also have awning lights for your first awning and your second awning. And then your slide controls and awning controls. So I'll show you the awning operation. You want to extend or retract here. We're going to push the button and watch the awning. Same thing with the second awning. And you can see the awning lights there. Do make sure in wind or rain that you're keeping these awnings in just to protect them. Slide out operation is also a push button. The slide out is fully sealed and level all the way in or all the way out. You want to make sure to cycle that slide out fully. So we're going to hit the retract button, bring the living area slide in to show you. And when you bring it back out, again, make sure you go all the way in or all the way out. You'll hear the clutch. That noise there is normal operation. It tells you when the cycle's complete. Gfi Outlet right at your kitchen here. This is where you would test or reset. If you did have any electrical, if it went out or you had an issue, make sure this is not popped in your testing and resetting right there. Along the floor line, you have a heat furnace vent, as well as fire extinguisher and carbon monoxide and propane gas alarm. So this is tied directly into your coach battery and will have a small draw on that battery. The kill switch you saw in the front compartment is a good idea to turn it in the off position when storing the camper, so this won't pull your battery down, or alternately you could remove the battery and store that as well. In your bedroom area, again, you have lights overhead, pop switches on the lights themselves, courtesy lights, and you have overhead roof vent with a knob to open that. You would just spin the knob, and then the switch to operate the fan is on the fan itself. Emergency exit window. You would pull out this lever. You can put the window to the open position if you would just like to get some air, or you would push all the way out on that window as an emergency exit. And that will just come in and lock for travel. Make sure that's latched nicely for you. For your pocket doors, there is a lock mechanism for travel. Lift up on the levers, you can unlock those doors and have nice sliding access there. Make sure you do close them for travel so they're not sliding. And likewise, this would be a lock for privacy. Coming into your living area, we have owner's manuals and remotes located inside. Wall switches will operate your lights as long as the pop switch in the middle of the light itself is in the on position. At the kitchen area, this is access to the back of the hot water heater. We've just unscrewed this panel to show you this. Gives you water pump and winterization kit. Please refer to the Jayco's owner's manual for specific instructions on how to winterize and walk you through those systems. This underneath is the converter. This is your fuse panel and breaker box. And pop open the door. Gives you access to everything there. In normal operation, you will hear this vent. This has a fan inside to keep the converter cool. Stove and oven are propane powered. You would set your knob here to the temperature control, put it to the flame for light, and use your direct spark ignition, and then you control the level of the gas here. You turn it off. For the oven itself, up underneath is a pilot, and you would turn the switch on or off for the oven here. Again, for specific instructions, you want to refer to the owner's manual included with the range and oven. There is a glass cover for the range. Once your burners are cool, this would flip down in front of the burners. You also have light and fan for your exhaust. Microwave is regular electric like you would have at home. You also have an electrical pop-up outlet with USB chargers in your kitchen. To store it, push the red button, and that recesses into your kitchen area. Refrigerator. This is propane and electric. At the top of the refrigerator are the on-off switch and controls. So this gives you automatic setting, propane or electric. You also have a thermostat control for cold to the coldest, which would be 1 through 5. Recommended if you leave this in the auto position. That way it can determine whether you're running on propane or electric. So if you are at a campground and you unplug for travel, it's automatically going to switch over and power the cooling unit with your propane. Make sure your propane bottles are in the on position, and then this can seek for the most efficient mode. Likewise, when you plug in at a campground, it can shut down the propane side and switch over to electric for maintaining the temperature control. These latches, you want to make sure they're pushed all the way in. You'll hear them pop in for travel. And when you're storing the camper, it's a good idea, if you don't have things in the fridge, you're not operating the fridge, just keep it open a little bit for ventilation. This model does have a pull-out sofa. So this is going to lift up and drop down into a bed area. These are removable for more leg and headroom. Likewise, your dinette table will make into a bed. The table detaches there with the screw knob underneath. You remove the table leg, and then the table would fit into the side here. It lays on top of this area, right where you see those 3 supports. And then your cushions would go on top of the table area to convert that into a sleeping area. Thermostat is along the wall here. Press it to operate the furnace and thermostat. This is heat and air conditioning. You can select what you want, whether it's fan, heating, or cooling, and you can select your temperature here. You can just continue to cycle through to see all the different operations. Keep in mind there is a delay on the furnace or the air conditioning. So likewise, when you turn it on or off, you may have a slight delay before you hear that kick on. That's normal operation. Your directional vents for your air conditioning are overhead. You can open these to control more or less airflow. You also have a chill grill on the main intake here. If you want to dump more cold air into the room right here, you can control it there. And then behind this grill is a filter, and that is removable. Recommended cleaning once a season. Get the dust out of there, vacuum it or clean it. You also have a high volume attic fan here with a knob right on the fan, and the controls off to the side here for the speed. This is nice to circulate fresh air through the coach if you crack a window. It does a really nice job in a couple minutes of recycling the air throughout the whole camper for you. I'm going to turn the thermostat off. Coming into the bath area, this is a foot pedal flush toilet. For operation, you're going to step on the foot pedal. All the way open, we'll rinse and flush. Partly, we'll just let some extra water into that bowl for you. Again, there is an attic fan overhead with a knob to raise and lower the vent and a switch on the side. You also have a wall switch. Provided that that fan is turned on for you, you can control the operation with the wall switch. For travel on your shower doors, make sure this is in the closed and locked position. This just comes off to open that way, and you always want to make sure it's secure for travel. In your bunk area here, there's a wall switch for overhead lights. You have electrical in your bunk area, overhead air conditioning vents, which are controllable. And this is the outside bunk door that you saw, which is lockable. Another emergency exit window at the back in the bunk area works the same way as the one you saw in the master bedroom. Also in your bunk area, there are hookups for cable, electrical, and a backer if you wanted to wall mount a television. Again, this is a walkthrough demonstration of some of the major systems and operations of a 2020 Jayco Jay Feather 29QB. For more specific details and information, please refer to the owner's manuals included with this model. We hope you've enjoyed watching, and we wish you much happy RVing ahead.